Welcome, everyone, to this Python and data science presentation. Today, we're diving into decision trees, specifically focusing on regression. Unlike classification trees that predict a category, regression trees predict a continuous numerical value. We will look at exactly how the algorithm learns to predict these numbers by splitting data. Here is our roadmap for this session. First, we will understand the anatomy of a decision tree, exploring the root, decision, and leaf nodes. Second, we will distinguish between trees for classification, which predict categories, and regression, which predict numbers. Third, we will master the math of the splitting criteria. We will dive deep into the sum of squared residuals calculation, which is the engine of the algorithm. Fourth, we will walk through a calculation step by step, comparing different split points to find the optimal threshold. And finally, we will interpret the final structure, known as the step function, and see how it compares to random forests. Let us begin with the structure of a decision tree. The tree begins at the top with the root node, which is the starting point containing all of your data. From there, the data splits at decision nodes based on a specific feature, like asking if it is raining. The tree branches out through multiple levels, which we call its depth. Finally, it reaches the bottom at a leaf node, which provides the final output or prediction. In our regression context, this leaf node will output a numerical value rather than a category. Moving to the core logic, we must distinguish our splitting criteria. Classification trees use Gini impurity or entropy because their goal is to separate data into pure classes, like separating blue from orange. However, regression trees use the sum of squared residuals or mean squared error. The primary goal here is to minimize the variance within each leaf. We calculate it by taking the distance between the actual observed y value and the predicted y value, squaring it, and summing these values. This measures the physical error distance from our data points to the model's prediction line. Let us look at a practical regression example by setting up our experimental data. We have a single feature, our independent variable input, x, and a continuous target value to predict, y. Looking closely at the scatter plot of our dataset, the key observation is that the data is highly nonlinear. The values go up, plateau, and then go back down. A simple straight line cannot accurately predict this shape, so our tree will need to partition the data. To find the optimal split, the algorithm tests every possible threshold. Let's look at test case 1, where the algorithm tests a split at x less than 1.5. It isolates the point on the left to calculate an average y value. Then it calculates the average y for the right node using all the remaining points. The result is a high error with a sum of squared residuals of 96.6. This error is high because that right-hand section still contains a huge amount of data variance. The algorithm doesn't stop, it continues iterating. In test case 2, it tests a split at x less than 2.5, and the error drops to 90.0. If it tries an ineffective cut right in the middle at x equals 8.0, the error jumps back up to a very high 101.9. But look at test case 3. When the split occurs at x less than 14.5, the error drops drastically to its lowest point of roughly 64.5. The algorithm is searching for a pattern, specifically looking for the deepest valley in the error curve. This graph gives us a perfect visualization of the cost function. The x-axis plots all potential thresholds or split points, and the y-axis tracks our error. By testing all points, we clearly observe two minimums on this curve. There's a local minimum when x is approximately 5.0. However, the global minimum, which represents our absolute best split mathematically, is found exactly where the red arrow is pointing, at an x value of approximately 14.5. Applying these mathematical calculations gives us our final tree structure. Our first optimal split happened where x is less than or equal to 14.5. Because the left side of that split was still impure, the algorithm automatically performed a second split where x is less than or equal to 5.0. This creates our final leaves, giving us distinct regions with beautifully low variance. The result is exactly what we see on the graph, a step function prediction line that hugs the non-linear shape of our experimental data. To summarize, decision tree regression minimizes the squared error to group similar continuous values together. Its key advantage is that it easily handles non-linear data and requires absolutely no normalization. However, its key disadvantage is that it is highly prone to overfitting, meaning the tree can become too complex and just memorize pure noise. The professional solution to this high variance is using techniques like pruning, gradient boosting, or random forests. As you can see on the right, a random forest averages multiple trees together to reduce variance and bias, resulting in excellent generalization to new, unseen data.
Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. I hope you found today's session valuable. Rest up, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next session.